God bless you. God bless you, everyone. God bless you. God bless you. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. I see Sister Ita is here. Come on in. I want you to help me to share. Today we have a great doctor, and also she is a woman of God, and she's here to talk about mental health. Any other question you need or information that you need to know about, she is right here in our midst today. If you want to call in, there is a possibility. There is a line that you can call in, and I'm asking you to please share. I am sharing right now. I am sharing right now. So you can also share in, to ask anything that you need to ask this woman of God. Hallelujah. So please help me to share. Help me tell somebody that today is the day that you can call in and ask anything that you need to ask. If you can't go to the doctor, you have a doctor right here that can answer your question. Are you ready for this, woman of God? Are you ready? This is the time. This is the hour. This is the moment that you can ask the doctor something. Can you help me to share? Help me to share someone and tell them that this is a moment that they don't have to go out of their home. They can just make a phone call. Yes, Sister Ada, come on in. Come on in. Just help me to push today. Can you help me to let your satellite go on? Can you help me to touch one of your family member if they are fighting with something? Some people are fighting with the clutter of the mind. Some people are fighting with high blood pressure, low blood pressure, their calories. Some people are fighting in forgetfulness. Some people are fighting in even if it is jealousy, even if it is whatever. This woman is a very wise woman. And she's not only a doctor, but she has so much to give out to people. I've met her, and we have been friends for a time now. And I'm telling you, I've been to her. She has her own patai, where she has her clinic, and she run it with others. So this is not just somebody coming in. It is somebody that I believe this is the time God is bringing the doctors to us. You know, sometimes we are going here, running here and there. I'm not saying she know everything. So don't just come thinking she know everything and pulling her with all these things. What she has to give, she will give it. And what she knows, she will let you know. And then she will come on back with what she doesn't know right at this moment. She will come on back. This is a program we want to do together to start build this program, that we will have assistant doctors and doctors here on this program, trying to touch life, trying to help people even in the lands that doesn't have a doctor, and even to counseling, because we need it today. We need women that will volunteer to their time like this. And that's why I'm asking you to share. I'm asking you to tell somebody, come on, I know you can push more than this. I want you to share. I want you to share and just help me to bring this out today. Touch somebody's life by you bringing them in and telling them there is a doctor on the real you today. I won't take much time, so I want to present Dr. Tingy, right? I hope I pronounce it right.
It's
all the way
Tengi.
from
Tengi. Yes.
Tengi. So
Tengi.
all the way from Germany, and she originally from Congo, Cameroon.
Yeah.
Cameroon. So we have met, and how long now? Going to a year, right?
You met this year, right? No, last year.
Last year.
It's so fast. It goes so fast. Last year. Yeah.
Last year. Yeah, we met at a conference, and we kept in contact. And we just love to, I just love her spirit. So we had lunch. We just love each other,
We love
and
each
she have
other.
a vision. I have a vision, and we just said, why not come and do it on the real you, that we can reach people. She has such a big heart for people, and that is what I love about her, the heart that she has to help others. So we want to talk today. I know is you can call in. There's I hope the numbers there, or any Minister Trafalgar supposed to put some information that if you want to call in, you can call in, and if not, you can text. But I don't hope they don't put it the text so fast that I can see it. So if you want to call in, you can call in. I hope the information is on. And if you want to just text, you can also do that. But today we want to talk about mental problem. We want to talk about mental health, because there are many people that are under attack with their mind, with their body, and many people also spiritually, because I know you also go sometimes spiritually talking about these things that can affect life. So, Dr. Tingle, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. The weather is beautiful. The day was beautiful. We thank
Wow.
God. I'm fine.
Oh, the
Yeah.
weather in Germany is beautiful.
It's very beautiful, like 20 degrees.
Wow.
No cold, no heat, no rain. It's very nice.
Oh, thank God for that. Thank God. I'm in Jamaica, so the weather here is always beautiful.
Very nice.
So I hope
Hmm.
when I come back, there will be also nice weather to celebrate.
Yeah,
So this
definitely.
morning, I want to talk about mental health,
Hmm.
because I've seen a lot of thing that is going on with um, many people are under attack with
Hmm.
forgetfulness. Not only that, clutter of mind. The mind are so cluttering that you see it now coming forward in their home, in their business, in their marriage. Is and not only that, doctor, I see a lot of people having forgetfulness.
Hmm.
They are young, and normally this would take place with elderly people,
Hmm.
but I see it happening now. Is it because of the oppression or depression? What is really going on?
Well, I would say it's a combination of many factors. You know, there's this dementia which sets in when you get older. They call it dementia. You've heard about it, right?
Yeah.
When you grow old and then you start being forgetful, very soon you don't recognize your husband anymore, you don't recognize your kids anymore. Sometimes some people in a very bad stage, they even put their houses on fire, burn everything down because they cannot remember, it's like you're in a blackout. So normally that's for old people. But then due to the stress in life, younger people are beginning to have it. Somebody in their 50s already start having dementia. That's not very good. But it's happening nowadays. It's happening nowadays. But now medically, there are some risk factors for dementia. There's some risk factors like lack of sleep. If you don't sleep, they say to have a good rest, you should sleep at least 6 hours a day. That's when you have a good rest. But if you're constantly not sleeping due to problems, you're weak, you must do this, do that. During sleeping hours, you must be up doing one thing or the other. At a certain point, dementia might set in. Yeah. That's the first factor. The second factor, it could be hereditary. Maybe in the family line, the people that have dementia at an early age, it sets in. But I'm not saying all forgetfulness is because due to dementia. No. Maybe there's some kind of stress going through somebody and the person becomes forgetful. But when the stress gets taken away, then the memory calms down and the person can start remembering things like before. Yeah. So that's just the way it is. Yeah. There's dementia and there's also lots of forgetfulness due to one mental condition or the other. Yeah.
So what you're saying is that dementia can also comes in from stress
Yes, lack of sleep.
and lack
Lack
of
of
sleep.
sleep. It can accelerate dementia, lack of sleep. But let's not confuse between forgetfulness and the illness called dementia.
Mm,
Because while someone could have forgetfulness, maybe it's just for a short period of time, you know. When the stress gets taken away,
mhm,
the person might recover from the forgetfulness. No, when someone has forgetfulness, it doesn't mean the person has dementia. No, it should be looked into why the person is forgetful, what kind of situation the person has before we start looking into dementia. You understand?
okay,
Yes.
okay.
So if somebody comes in, I'm giving an example, comes into the clinic with forgetfulness and is a young person, dementia is unlikely. It's unlikely for young people. But nowadays, I think it sets in a little bit too early due to our too much stressful lives. You understand?
Mhm,
So what I would do is you speak with the person and listen to the person's story and everything, and you can do a CT scan of the head. Do a CT scan of the head to see if some people, when they have some tumor growing in their heads, it also affects the area of remembrance. So you can start forgetting. That's the first thing, and then you can send the person to a neurologist. The neurologist is the person who takes care of illnesses which concern the nervous system and also dementia. You send the person there for a check because there's something called the dementia test. The neurologist now will test the person to see if this person is having actually dementia or not. That's why I'm saying every forgetfulness must not be classified as dementia. It could just be something someone is experiencing for a short period of time. But when the cause of the forgetfulness is being found, then the person can recover. Yes. But for old people, when old people start forgetting too much, people usually assume it's due to dementia, but it must not be dementia. It must not be dementia too. It could be something else. So if somebody suddenly starts forgetting, even old people, the first thing which is done is they do the CT scan of the head to see. Sometimes people who have gone through stroke, they are also very forgetful.
mhm,
They don't recover from the stroke. You become very forgetful, and it can lead to dementia after stroke happens too. You know, so
mhm,
it's a whole accumulation of factors. It's not one thing.
mm, mm. So it is something that when you see yourself like at a certain age group and
Yeah.
you are easily forgetting things, it's good not just to think it is dementia because
Yeah.
it can also be different cases in it. But
Exactly.
what you're
Exactly.
saying that if you don't sleep right and you have also a trace of dementia in your family lineage,
Yes.
it can trigger off early dementia.
Exactly. Exactly. If
Mm,
you don't sleep well, you have, lack of sleep can lead to many things. It can lead to early settle on dementia. It can lead to high blood pressure. It can lead to depression. It can lead to, lack of sleep leads to many different things. It leads to you put on too much weight. So let's not underestimate the sleeping factor. You must get good rest.
mm,
Yes, good rest. Before they said between 6 to 8 hours, but nowadays everybody is rushing doing one thing or the other and can't sleep well. But good rest is essential to our health.
so you're saying that sleep is essential.
Very essential. It's very, very healthy. In the night, 6 hours through sleep, at least 6 hours through sleep is very good. Yeah.
At least 6 hours. What I
Yeah.
want to ask you again, because that is one thing, but I see many people nowadays talking about narcissistic.
Yeah.
And many years ago, we didn't hear about this.
Yes.
This thing because I believe it was there, but we didn't hear that much about it. And since
Yes.
lately, it has been showing up very much. Can
Yes.
you give us a bit about what it is?
Well, I will go a little bit into the history of narcissism. It's called narcissism. It's the word narcissism is derived from the Greek, from Greece, because the Greek people, they were the very first people to really do medicine and document. So the word narcissism, it comes from the Greek mythology. Greek mythology. Mythology means something which a story which has been told from hundreds of years. You don't know if it's true or false. So narcissism uh, comes from the Greek mythology about a young man called Narcissus. That was his name,
Mhm.
Narcissus, and he was in love with himself. The young man was in love with himself, and he loved himself so much that he couldn't love another person. He couldn't fall
Wow.
in love with a woman because he thought he was too great of a person. So one day, in the story, in the mythology, the story, Narcissus, the gods punish Narcissus. It's the Greek
Mm.
story. The gods punish Narcissus. He went one day to a river, saw himself in water, and fell in love with himself.
Wow.
Yes, he saw the reflection of himself in water and fell in love with himself. And but then, since it was just his shadow, he couldn't give the shadow couldn't reciprocate the love. So that was how the name of narcissism came about. So what is narcissism? It's just an extremely pathological behavior. Or let me correct myself. Each human has a certain degree of narcissism because it helps you to have a good self-esteem. It helps you be able to do things. But then if it's too much, that's where there's a problem. For example, children, and it starts most of the time in the childhood, children would didn't have love from their parents. Like the parents were overly critical, overly ambitious. The child can never do what is right. I mean, it affects the child mentally. The child doesn't have a healthy kind of love and bonding to the parents. So the child grows up, and that there's that emptiness on the inside. The child tries to fill the emptiness with material things. The child might be very excellent in school, but they are being excellent so that they can acquire applause from people. People will clap at them, praise them, and then they are very ambitious. They go for the highest. They have dreams of being great, dreaming of excess greatness, you know, and they can never be satisfied. They run from one material thing to the next. If they have one woman, they want many women. They want, that is to fill that inner void. And they're very fragile in their ego. They lash out easily if their ego is being touched. They speak only about themselves. They speak in a very appreciative way about themselves. They speak a main way to see and to recognize a narcissist, or a pathological narcissist, is when the person talks only about themselves. It's like they're in love with themselves.
Mm.
So, and it becomes a problem when this kind of people who who don't have love, in fact, they mistake love with the applause of people, with the praises of people. They mistake that to be love. So they need more and more and more and more and more, and it weighs the people around them. And in order to have that, they find a way to control people around them so that they can always receive the praises and applause. If, for example, there is a leader as who is a narcissist, and narcissism is everywhere. You have in the churches, a lot in the churches, even in the
Mm.
institutions. If you have a leader who is a narcissist, the leader, to have those praises, he controls his group in the sense that what belongs to you, he doesn't give. So that you come, you beg him, you praise him, and then he will feel a little bit good about himself, and then he throws a little bit of bone on the floor for you. That's typically how the function. And
But
then
is there a cure for that? Is Would you put it in
it's
a place of
it's
mental illness, or how would you
it's a kind
put
of
it?
it's a kind of mental illness which If you discover, the thing is, if people have a healthy self-reflection, if someone discovers that they are a pathological narcissist, pathological means that it's out of norm. If they're a pathological narcissist, they can seek psychological help. But most time, the narcissists, they don't want help because it's so embedded in them that they enjoy being the way they are. Yeah. So
Oh,
yes. So they don't want to change. And any person trying to show them their weaknesses, it leads to total. It doesn't go on well. So
but
there
this
is a
can
different.
describe. Can this not destroy the life of others? Because if this is, you've said, in churches or in marriage or in family, and this is in a person, and can this not destroy what is around them or the people?
Of course, it destroys because for the narcissist, sometimes for the narcissist to feel good, he must take from others one way or the other. If you're under the control of somebody, it's like someone is taking from you. You're not free to self-express. If you can't self-express, it means someone is taking a core value from you. We as humans, I believe that the credit of the unhappiness we have sometimes is because we cannot self-express. Everybody came to this world with a gift. And until you touch the gift and self express, you always feel like there's something lacking.
Yeah.
You always feel like never have satisfaction. So if you're in such a group where the narcissist prevents self expression, you it
Mm-hmm.
means you're being destroyed. You're being destroyed,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not like there even one type of narcissist. There's the malignant narcissist that is the very malign means something which is bad. There's a malignant narcissist, something which is very bad. For example, if you have there are different types of tumors which can grow in the body. Yeah, if they say you have a malign tumor, it means you have a bad tumor which can kill you. But if they say you have a benign tumor, it means it's not bad. If it gets operated upon, you'll be fine. So there's a malignant narcissist. That one is really the one who destroys. And then there's the covert narcissist, who is not as bad as the malignant, but they are the same kind of people. And then the narcissist has a group of people who they call the flying monkeys. Flying,
Wow.
yes. Oh, yeah. The flying monkeys are the people who always support the narcissist no matter what he does. For example, the narcissist might be doing controlling, manipulation, gaslighting. Gaslighting means, for example, you could have a white cup standing in front of you, and the narcissist says, "No, this is blue," and he says it in a very straight way, convincing way, and everybody around him says that cup is blue. It makes you confused. Am I not saying it well? Because he says it's blue, which is a lie, and he knows it's a
Yeah.
lie. And
Yeah.
10 people say it's blue, although it's white. So it confuses you. That's what you call gaslighting. Yes.
My
So
God.
yes, so the narcissist has these flying monkeys, the people who are always supporting him, and these people are under his control too. And
But may I ask a question, please? With this, because you said they would say it is blue, and it's not blue; it is white. But they manipulate the people. That means they lie. What they
yes,
convince the people that what they are saying is true.
yes, that is what is called gaslighting.
My God.
Yes, that's what it's called. So they are masters at manipulation to have their way and to stay on top. They believe that's what you must do to stay on top. That's what you must do to. That's how the
So,
world
so
operates.
they can bring a division also in ministry or marriage because of that lie.
Of course, it you must follow them. You must agree to what they say. It's just like when Jesus said, "If you're not for me, you are against me." But they do theirs in a wicked way. They do theirs in a demonic way because theirs is only about control and manipulation and taking advantage of others.
But do they know they are doing it, or they
They know
cut
they're
in?
doing it. They know they're doing it because if they're caught red-handed in their act, they show shame.
Wow.
They don't have empathy, that is to feel sorry for someone, or they don't have empathy. It's like their empathy gets destroyed. They
So they
cannot put
don't know
themselves.
that they really hurt someone.
No, they cannot feel for someone.
Wow.
Yes, they don't have the capacity to feel, because if you can feel somebody's pain, you will not hurt them. So that capacity of feeling has been cut off somehow. I don't know how. So they don't feel for someone. So they do anything, they don't feel. But then if they are caught red-handed, what motivates them and maybe might make them to analyze their actions is the shame factor. They feel shame. They feel ashamed of their actions. Because shame comes when you think you have failed in something. So maybe that's how it is. They feel shame, but not empathy. Not, you could be suffering and not having food to eat. You could be dying. They pass by and it doesn't mean anything to them.
Mm. But
Yeah,
can
but
they get help for this?
they don't see it most of the time as a problem. They don't see that because they are being cruel to someone and everybody is supporting them. So why would they see that as a problem? They don't know. They don't know to what extent they might destroy another person.
Wow.
And many of them, when they know, they do not care.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. This is powerful. If anyone is watching and they have question I want to ask more, they can call in or type. I see Deacon Alton is on, and I believe he has a question. Are you ready to ask the doctor?
God bless you, Apostle. God bless you, Dr. Tengai. Is it Tengai?
Hello.
Tengi? God
Thank
bless you.
you.
Thank you.
Tengi,
Thank you.
Tengi. The question I want to ask, going back to what you were talking about earlier about Alzheimer's and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people currently with foggy brains, especially the ones who came up with COVID during that period, called COVID. And there seems to be a lot of people who says, well, since I've had this, um, I'm not able to remember as good as I used to be, or
Yeah.
I'm forgetting. Especially, I think it's more short-term stuff they forget. Is this a real thing, and is it just a temporary thing?
But there's something called long COVID.
Yes.
Long COVID. That is the after effects of the COVID illness, where people after that they can go for 2 years, maybe 3 years with some symptoms just due to the COVID infection. For example, some my experience, I've met some with the long COVID. They have chest pain continuously. They have palpitations. That is your heart beating very fast continuously. And I will not be surprised if this memory loss comes in there too with the long COVID. But what I can say is if it's temporary or permanent, because research is still being carried on. It's not long that COVID got reduced, only last year or so. So they are
Mhm.
still watching the people who have the long COVID to see if they have some permanent side effects or if it's temporal. But normally it should not be permanent when it's long COVID. Long COVID means that it stays for long, but it has to go away.
Okay, doctor. Thank you very much for that.
No, no issue.
Okay,
Bless you,
God
Apostle.
bless you. Thank you very much. And sometimes is it not many, because I heard some people said even with the vaccination that many people that took it are having now in this time all these problem with the memory, and also with high blood pressure. A lot of things is happening to their body. So could it be also that it can come from that side, the vaccination? The
Well, one of the side effects, because before you receive the vaccination, you have to sign. I mean, the very first vaccine you have to receive, your doctor has to explain everything to you, what the vaccine is all about, what it's for, and the side effects which it can cause. One of the side effects was non memory loss. It's true that
wow,
it wasn't. So So it's true that people can say many things, but we do not know if it's true, if their memory loss is from the vaccine. Many people can allocate, oh, since took the vaccine, I can't remember well.
So
There's
you
no
do
proof
have to
that
sign a
it's from the
paper.
vaccine.
So you
What?
did have to sign a paper. They
Yes,
explain everything to you, the side
yes.
effect, and then you sign towards it.
You sign towards it to know
Wow.
that if something happens, you also carry the responsibility. You cannot go sue the doctor because the doctor explained to you and you were willing to sign.
Wow.
Yes, that was how it was. Yeah, and one of the side effects was not memory loss. So if people are saying after the vaccine, after I had memories, I don't know. I don't know if I can believe that. There should be research, more data to show us if it's true.
Mm, mm. I see someone. Can you help me put the questions in? Because while the doctor was talking, I don't know if it is the narcissist. Sis, why this person said they said I see someone like mostly they praise strong women. So are she saying that these people go after strong women? If that is it, can she reply and let me know if that is what she's saying? So can you bring the question on that we can go on to do it? I've never known that narcissistic has so many different sides of it.
Yeah,
So
it,
many
it
different.
has. Yeah, yeah. Yes, many different sides, many different sides. So it's a whole big topic, But everybody has a certain. It's healthy. It's healthy actually to have a certain a good
But it
self-esteem.
looked like rejection. It also looked because that spirit can also camouflage and let people believe, oh, this is a rejection person, or they are have been through a lot why they're acting like this, or they need love why they're acting like this. So how can somebody really recognize this spirit,
Well,
this sickness?
we
Because
can
it's a
use
spirit and it's a mental issue.
we can use the word. Let's stay on the medical term before we can now
Right,
analyze it in this from the spiritual realm. What it could be. Let's stay first on the medical term.
right.
Well, of course, it's a combination of several factors. Like I say, if the parent in the childhood they couldn't give the child love, it's a kind of rejection, right?
Right.
It's a kind of rejection. So the children grow up, they find a way not to be rejected. That is in the sense that they control. But
Mhm.
but people who are strong enough can break away from their control. And it's still a kind of rejection. They try not to be rejected, but they get rejected time and time again due to their inability to treat people well. So, and then I also read somewhere that narcissism can also be inherited, can also be in
Mm,
the genes. So it's not only due to the environment or the family, it's inherited. So if
mm.
that is inherited, how do you cure that? It's almost impossible
With
to
Jesus.
stop that. Yeah,
But
yeah.
it is difficult because I heard many people say I'm with somebody like that, and they all they do is try to love them. But what you're saying is it is difficult even to love a person like that.
It's very difficult to love, especially if you are from a healthy background and you get with such a person, you cannot be with the person for long. But if you are in the relationship, if you are in an abusive relationship and you discover the person is like that, but you're still there, it means you two have a problem. You two have a problem. Why do you stay in an abusive relationship? It means you two have a problem, and the narcissist is just exploiting the situation you have. You two need a level of growth such that you don't tolerate people abuse, because it starts with self-love, right? If you can't love yourself, you can't give love to others. You must love yourself, but not in an excessive way like the malignant narcissist. So a typical example of a narcissistic person is like the Donald Trump. That's a narcissistic character. The President Trump. Yes, the
Mhm.
way he is, that's not how a normal person is. So that's a typical narcissistic character. But now, in certain areas in the world, this behavior is very tolerated. I heard in New York, most men there are like him. So it just depends too on the society. Some societies they encourage narcissism. They encourage narcissism.
Mm.
That's just the way it is. And if you come in not knowing what narcissism is, you get exploited. Yeah.
Okay. If you have a question and you want to make ask, you can ask her. I see here Ada said, I make a MR scan and nothing came out.
Just
It
one
is
second.
not, it is not Alzheimer. I make a MR scan and nothing came out. Is it not Alzheimer? I don't understand if she's asking if it is Alzheimer or is it not Alzheimer. Because if you make it and nothing came out of it, so that means you are okay. So can she make a clear statement or call in to ask about that, please?
Um, I think I understand what she's saying. When old people, for example, those old people with Alzheimer, when they do this, the MRI, you can really see that the brain is becoming smaller. That is the substance which makes up the brain. You see that it's reduced. You can see from the MRI. But if she makes it and everything is fine, there's no proof that she has Alzheimer. There's no proof. There's no proof. It's okay, then it's
So
fine.
what she said is that they thought she had Alzheimer, but
What?
nothing came out.
Yes, then she's fine. Then her forgetfulness can be looked somewhere else. Yeah.
Okay, I see someone else here. God bless you.
Bless you, Apostle.
Blessing.
Blessings. Blessing, doctors.
What do
It
you
was
want
my
to ask the doctor?
my question actually because I was in a relationship with a narcissist, and but after I went in therapy because my self-esteem was broken down
Yes.
so badly that I didn't trust anyone else, and also I needed to learn to let people in again, and also learn to get my friends back because it was also he isolated me
Yeah.
slowly because nobody wanted to come at my home anymore. Nobody wanted to be my friend anymore. So when he had me alone, then it got even worse. Um, and after I went to therapy, they said yes, they mostly look out for a strong personality because then they know they can. It's like a trophy if they can manipulate you and
Wow.
get you
Mm,
to be as small as they can do anything with you because they just said so.
yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
just wanted to share this, and yeah, and if it's true what I'm saying,
I think it's true. I think it's very true.
yeah,
I think it's very, very, very true.
yeah,
But yeah, I think it's very. But I'm glad you've recovered.
yes,
Because it can really be very, very toxic. What they
yes, it
do
is,
is
it is.
very toxic. It can, no matter which age you are, you can fall prey to the narcissist. No matter which age you are.
No,
Yeah.
no,
You can, but staying there is where the problem is. But leaving
exactly. It's very
shows
hard.
that you
Yeah,
are also strong to move
yes,
away. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes,
it's very true. They prey
So
on
yeah,
people with
what she's saying, I've never heard this. So let me get back to this. That they pray strong woman and they do it purposely to have a strong person
yes,
because they want to prove that they can break that person down to make them feel stronger or better of
yes, exactly,
themselves.
yeah.
exactly. Yes,
Yeah.
yes. But God is stronger and God is
Yeah.
almighty. So I just trust in my God, and I thank God that He brought me out of it. And still I have trust issues. Of course, it's not gonna go magically away because now I have found God. But it God really helped me to stay focused And yeah, and in the beginning they are very charming. The first 2 years was great, and it
Yeah.
started afterwards. Then things started to show up,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't like my social life. He didn't like how I dressed. He didn't like how I cooked. So little by little, he
Little by
started
little,
breaking down.
they break you. Yeah, they break you.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to share this, and so that you people can be alert. And yes, we have discernmentitis. We are in the period of watchmen, and God will show you.
Mm.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you very much. Bye bye. If there is anyone else that want to come in and ask the doctor something, as I say, Pastor Jennifer said, they can be very charismatic.
They are very charismatic. That is, they can pull the crowd with charm. But it's after you
Mm.
come into the charm, they start being wicked. Many people will not believe they're wicked due to their charm. So they are very charismatic. They're usually very, if it's the case of a man, usually very good looking,
And there's a
successful.
woman. How do the woman do that?
Well, the woman too, they do it. They do it. You know, the woman too is charismatic. It's charismatic.
So the narcissist can be a man and it can be a woman.
Of course. It's a man and woman. There's no difference. To control, you must do what she says, although she's not in a position to give you instructions. If you don't do, she becomes angry, and she has ties with more powerful people who can come at you in another way.
Mm. So we have to look at this because you're saying it's somebody that grow up not being loved, not knowing their, I would say, identity. That is also another part of it. Not knowing their identity, and then come into a place maybe looking for who they are. Is that something like that?
I don't know if they're looking for who they are. They want to, what I know is they're trying to satisfy an inner void. And you cannot
Oh,
satisfy,
so
yes,
there's a
it's a
wound there
hole. It's a hole
that
which
they're
they want to
trying to,
satisfy. Yeah,
yeah.
that's one motivation. And they don't know how. Instead to seek God, they start taking from others.
Wow. So if you're around anyone like this, please, please, please be careful. Please be careful. If you're anyone like this, they need help. They need prayer. I would like to ask again about many people you see now are troubling with depression and tiredness. And can you give us some advice also on that?
Well, depression has many factors too. You know, it. The first thing is most illnesses are genetical. Most illnesses are genetical. If the mother or if the parents had it, the grandparents had it, then the kids too will likely have it. That's the first thing. Secondly, someone who has gone through abuse. If, for example, you were raped as a child, maybe depression sets in childhood, or you get bullied, or whatever thing, or you go through some kind of trauma, the death of a loved one, depression sets in. Yeah, abuse usually causes depression, or general, you cannot find your space, your place in an area. For example, I'm here with with an African, not with an African. Where I am, we have a huge African community here, and many of them they got through Europe in not so good conditions. Imagine you go through the Sahara Desert in Africa to come to Europe, and when you finally arrive Europe, everything in you has been taken away. You cannot recognize yourself because that journey and the madness they meet on the way. They reach Europe or Spain, Italy, before they reach Germany. You're already a shadow of yourself. You're already in maybe a permanent state of depression because what you are, your essence has been taken away. You know, it's a mental condition, and that heaviness on the spirit is a mental condition, but it can be fought. You must know the first thing to fight depression. You must know yourself. You must know if you're inclined to depression. Here in Europe, during the winter period where there is no sun, many Europeans have depression. It's also the weather factor because you're more isolated, you're more alone. And when you're alone, your thoughts get bombarded. Joyce Meyer wrote a book calling The Battlefield of the Mind. Your mind gets bombarded, so you fall into depression. You think depression is what you have, a carousel of negative thoughts going through your mind, and you don't know how to free yourself from that. You know, so many things can help. Many ways can help one come out of depression. There are different stages of depression. There's light depression, there's the middle depression, and then there is very heavy depression. The heavy depression is the one that you stay on the bed, you can't get up because you can't even, you're so heavy that you can't move your body. The light depression is when you're sad, you could be sad and depressed, but not such that you can't carry on your activity. But the heavy depression, people, they just lie on the bed, they can't go to work due to depression. Yeah. So but there are ways to fight that. Good medications you can take. For example, also if you have some illness which is incurable, you can easily fall into depression. Incurable illness now.
But is it good for to be, because I know that when you are on depression, in a depression, and you just hooked on the depression medication, it is something that very hard to come off of.
Yeah.
What is the best way to do it? Is it always on medication?
No, it's not always a medication. And it will depend on the stage of depression. If it's the heavy type of depression where you are lying on the bed, you can move. Medication is the only way. You cannot avoid that to help you come on your feet. And most of the time, people with heavy depression, when they stop the medication, they go back to the depression. So maybe it's, in that case, you have to stay on the meds. But if it's a light depression, you can fight in other ways. You go and you do sport. Sport helps. Sport helps to release dopamine in the mind. This the hormone which makes you to be happy. You make sports. Yeah, you do things which empower you. Just being in a good environment where people speak positivity over you can clear away the depression. Medication is not always it's not always first choice therapy. But if you are so depressed that you lie on the bed, you can't get up and do anything, you need medication.
Okay then. Okay. So if you are facing anyone is here that is in that position, medication is not the first solution unless it goes very deep. So it's good to do sports and find way, go and walk, find somebody to go to the fitness, find somebody to, to walk with you, that your mind can be free.
Exactly. And if it's something, because depression is usually caused by something. Other times, if it's hereditary, if it has been inherited, there will be no reason that somebody gets depressed. But most of the time, depression gets caused by something. If it's possible, you eliminate what causes the depression. If it's in a relationship you're not happy in and you feel depressed, you can pull yourself from the relationship. Because there's a trigger for depression most of the time. If you can eliminate the trigger, then the depression too might go away.
Amen. Amen. I see Sister Ada is here on. Can you come on?
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
What were you saying, Sister Ada?
Ja, kan ik in het Nederlands spreken, alsjeblieft?
Yeah, I try to, minister, somebody can translate.
Want ik heb over die vergeten, hè?
I have something about forgetting.
Ja, maar ik heb 2 keer MRI-scan gedaan. De dokter zei dat er is...
de MRI-scan.
Maar de dokter zei, ik heb geen aanleg voor Alzheimer. Dus alles is goed.
And the doctor told me everything is well because I don't have any, I don't know what Alzheimer, yes.
Ja, en de dokter legt me uit dat het is net als een telefoon of een computer.
The doctor explained to her it's like a phone and a computer.
Omdat ik heb zoveel dingen meegemaakt vanaf mijn jeugd.
Because she went through a lot of things from her youth.
Tot nu toe dat ik met met zoveel dingen bezig ben met iedereen, familie en alle situatie. En daarom is het dat ik moet goed uitslapen, goed uitrusten, zodat mijn gedachten komt
The
tot rust.
doctor, let me translate it for her. The doctor explained to her because of situations that she's still hanging on to, like family situations and everything else. She needs to take her rest. It's very important.
Ja, het is net als een computer of een telefoon. Als het is vol, dat het gaat
When the
niet.
phone and the computer is full, when it's overloaded,
Dus daarom, en ik heb ook die slaapapneu, dus ik moet echt goed slapen, zodat
and
ik
she's
kom
also
tot
suffering
rust.
with sleeping apnea, so she has to sleep very well.
Does she have a machine for the sleeping apnea?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
very nice. Yeah. So you see, it's a combination of many factors. They did the MRI, they didn't see anything, but now maybe through the discussion with the doctor, it came out that she has lots of stress, mental stress, which
Klopt.
has
Yes.
provoked this problem. You see, so if you can release it in one way or the other, you can release it through therapy. It will get better. The forgetfulness will get better. You can release it. It's too much trauma. Trauma also leads to forgetfulness, you know, because with the trauma, it's so painful that you try to forget it. And maybe when you're trying to forget it, you get into the process of forgetfulness.
En
You
de
understand?
dokter zei tegen mij dat ik moet het spreken, ik moet praten, ik moet het niet binnenhouden, want anders wordt het erg voor mij.
The doctor explained to her that she needs to talk about it, else it will become, worse
A
for her.
problem. Yeah, problem to her.
Yes, problem.
Ja,
But did you
But do you,
understand what the woman of God just explained to you? You could
ja
understand
ik
it?
heb het
Okay.
begrepen.
Okay.
Maar
but
ik
do
kan
you
het
have
niet doen.
but do you have someone that you talk with?
Ja, soms vertel ik, meestal als ik heb iemand, maar niet iedereen kan je vertrouwen, want ze denken dat je praat over het verleden. Dat is die probleem.
Okay, yes, she said yes, she has someone to talk with, but
No
sometimes
everyone, not everyone.
not everybody you talk with.
No.
Yes, but that's where the place of the psychologist comes in. You know, if you don't have someone you can trust to tell your problems to, you go to the psychologist. That's the person is being paid to listen to what you have to say.
I
Yeah.
understand,
She
maar
said she has some she talked to
ik ben zo
she said
lang
she
geweest.
talked to somebody, but not everybody as she can relate to with telling her everything.
Of course, but the person she's talking with might not be a psychologist. The psychologist is trained to listen to such things and trained to give some solutions. The person who she's talking with might just listen but not have solution for her. But the psychologist might have a solution for this kind of problem. Yes.
Okay.
So why she's talking with that person is good, but she should seek a psychologist too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you
En
hear?
dat, ja, maar ik was wel geweest. Ik was bij de PSST. Want ja, omdat ik heb zoveel dingen meegemaakt. Maar op een gegeven moment was ik verhuisd, was het gestopt.
So she used to go there, doctor, but then when she moved, it stopped.
You should look for another doctor. There are many of them.
Okay then. So we are happy that you don't have Alzheimer.
No,
If you need
thank God.
someone to talk to, you have us to talk to you. Talk. And then you
Amen.
find also a good Christian psychiatrist that can help you. Okay?
Amen.
You have your
Okay, thank
pastor
you.
to talk to also. I believe you have many good people that you can share your story with. You have much to tell. You're a great
Yeah,
woman.
so much.
You have much to tell. Okay?
So much
God
and so much testimony ook.
Many testimony. Oh, God bless
And
you,
God is
Sister
good.
Ada.
Amen. Bless you.
Okay.
Bye.
I see Pastor Jennifer is on. Can we have her? God bless you.
God bless you, Apostle. God
God
bless
bless
you, woman
you.
of God.
Hello.
Yes, I was hearing a lot of things being talked about. I heard for example, when the doctor was saying about medication, you asked about the medication for the depression. But isn't so that there are certain people,
Lessons.
I believe with certain
Relevant.
gene, then if they use medication, it will get even worse.
Wait, it depends. You know, there's not only one
Ik ben door
medication
de
for
spanning volgens
depression.
mij gewoon vergeten jou terug te bellen. Heb ik jou gebeld?
There's not only one medication for depression. There are many. For example, and medications too. Most of them have their side effects. It doesn't mean that you might have the side effect, but you could have the side effect. For example, one typical side effect of depressant is that you eat a lot. It gives you lots of appetite. You know, it activates your appetite so that you eat, so they eat and then they become fatter when they're taking the medication. But if, for example, somebody takes a drug and it instantly gets worse, then it means the drug is not working. Another drug must be tried. You try
No, what?
until you
Mm,
have the right drug. That's how we do it. And most of the drugs, they don't really set in on, that is, when you take it today, it doesn't really work immediately. Sometimes you need a space of 2 weeks to see how it
mhm.
works. Yeah. So if someone takes a drug and is still feeling worse in this depressive state, then the person will have to take it for some time, the time which is needed for it to start to work. If it doesn't work, then you have to change.
So what I meant also was, because I remember that I have watched it or hear about it before. Some people like when they use medication for depression,
Mhm.
they will get even like suicide.
No,
They suicide. They feel like to commit suicide.
no. I have another experience. They get better. Most
Okay.
99% get better. If someone takes the medication for depression and instead feeling suicidal, it means maybe they have to give another diagnosis to the person. Maybe the person doesn't only have depression, the person has another personality disorder, another
Mm-hmm.
kind of mental illness. You understand? Because there's also
Yes.
schizophrenia, which is a broad term. Under schizophrenia, you have many things. And another drug would be suitable for the person. Maybe it's not only depression, and they
Okay.
should look into it critically. Yeah. But
Okay.
normally, when you take the drug, you have to feel well. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
What I can add to, I was chronically depressed for many years before I got saved. And I was on medication. What I can say about the medication is it depends on how your body react to it. Because I remember sometimes I had to change for 1 month. Sometime they had to either change how many milligram or a different type of depression pill, because it depends on how your body react
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when you're under supervision from a doctor, which is always good, then they can, it's like monitoring how you are doing in certain things. The
Yeah.
only thing I can say about it when I was on medication was that you cannot do without medication. And sometimes the medication make you sleep a lot,
Mm-hmm.
or it make you get tired. You're so tired that you want to sleep. You just want to rest. You just want to, just rest. So that is something that I know when I was on medication. To come off the medication took me long time. It's when I got saved, I
Mm-hmm.
came off medication by fasting. But apart from that, because I had it more than 5 years, so you get addicted to it. You cannot do without it. But
Mm.
I was under supervision. The good thing also when you are depressed, what I can say from myself is that there is many different programs that you have to pass through. Like I did go to a program that teach you how to listen to your body. So you know what when the depression is triggered off, you know the sign from your body and all these things. So there are so many different things, but suicidal I never know because you're on medication, unless what the doctor is saying is something different.
Yeah. And when you took the medication, you felt better, right?
I don't know. I don't think I didn't feel better because at that time I was just tired and maybe I was just wanted to get better. I don't see the difference. You feel better in one way because you have these thoughts, like what she said, suicidal thoughts before medication. You
Before.
will have that. You don't eat, you don't shower, you just locked up
Yeah,
in a
yeah.
dark place.
That's the heavy depression. Yeah. You can't
Right,
get out from the bed.
right.
You don't
So
feel like you want to participate in life. Everything
right.
is
And
it's
then you have, when you stand at a place, the suicide thought come, but the suicide thought come before medication. With
medication.
medication you don't really have that, but
Yeah.
you get hooked on it. You get addicted to it. It's like your whole life you have to live on it. And what I did not like was, it's like you are locked up in your own body. That is how I felt. I was locked up in my own body. So I thank God for the blood. I thank God for Jesus. I got saved. And that is when the Lord told me, go. I was in a depression clinic for 3 months, locked up. And the Lord told me, I heard a voice say, go and fasting. And in that place, I start fasting. I came off medication. And then after 3 months, I was free from everything. So it depends when, with somebody that find Jesus. And that's why many times, many of us also need to go to this place to minister and pray for these people also. Because, I mean, medication is good, but we cannot make it become a lifetime medication. We have
It's
to
true.
find a way how to break free from these things because it's a health matter. If I never had medication that time, I wouldn't be here. I would have killed myself because these thought comes up.
Yeah.
Suicidal, and suicidal always come up when you are really heavy depressed. So that is something that we maybe is, I don't think the person had it while taking the pill, or less the pill, was too low for that person. So that's why sometimes maybe you have to get really, counseling. And as what the doctor said, counseling, because I wasn't a believer when I was like this. So counseling and the right doctor, the right instruction, and most of all, get somebody who know Jesus to pray for you and to lead you to Christ.
Thank you, thank you. I had only one more question. Is there a difference? I personally believe the one is as a result of the another, between burnout and depression.
Yes, there's a slight difference. There's a slight difference. With burnout, when that is you have worked to the maximum of your capacity
Mhm.
and you can't do no more. You are just exhausted. You can't. But with burnout, when you get an adequate rest, you usually come back to yourself very fast too. Yeah. But with
Mm.
depression, even with resting, you're still downcasted. Yes. There's
Okay.
a measure.
See,
Better is when you have walked, you have done things of the flesh too much. You have not rested. You have not taken care of your body. You have not taken care of the mind. You're tired, just completely tired. Yeah.
yeah, I
But
believe I heard someone here said, Bishop Steve Mary. She said, I believe that depression comes from the devil who make you feel worthless. Burnout is when you get busy and don't take time for yourself. Manage your time, God and family self. That's what I believe. Yes, depression is that. It is something that is come from the devil. That's why I said in many ways, living in the world, you carry all these things and you place it upon you. And when you still need, because you're living in the flesh, you still need help because you don't know Jesus yet. But when we, the person, come to God, at that moment, He can come and take over everything. And that is what had happened. If I
It's
never
true, true.
went to a doctor, I wouldn't be here today because I didn't know Christ. And then the depression, taking medication at that moment helped me from not committing suicide.
Mm.
So when I came to Christ, that is when I get my total victory over depression. I have, and not only that, I don't really take medication because it also bring me to a place to understand the power of healing.
It's
So
true.
we have to understand that doctors are made for a reason. Is that they help us in many ways. Because I wouldn't be here because I remember Dr. Tingy when one day I was standing depressed and I was standing at the train station and everything were coming and I hear the train was passing by and I could hear a voice saying, throw yourself over, throw yourself over. But I thank God, God, this was not meant for me because there was a power that just pulled me away from that edge and pulled me and said, remember your kids, remember your children. So that is when I went and seek help. That's why I know you get the suicidal thoughts. So there are so many things that you pass through in depression. So it's even the burnout. There are so many things, but sometimes the enemy meant this for evil and God turned it around. And that's why we want to
Exactly.
talk about this mental problem because many people are troubling with toxic relationship, mental problem, trauma in their life and they don't have anyone to talk about. When you go to the doctor office, you only have 5 minutes or 10 minutes to talk fast. And that is it. And that's why we decide, Dr. Tenge and me, that it's good to do this now and then, that you can have an idea what you are facing. And not only that, she's not only a doctor, but she's a believer. So we can come together and help each other to find solution. We don't have everything, but then at least we can try to see how we can help you.
Yeah, definitely. This depression gets described in the Bible as the spirit of heaviness, right? It
Yeah.
says the heavy spirit upon you. And sometimes just singing and praising the Lord breaks that spirit away, you know. They say singing is praying twice. Sometimes giving praise to God breaks the yoke of depression. And as Apostle Paulette was saying, you must know yourself. You must know yourself. You must know when, if for example you have suffered from depression before and you got better, you must know when it begins to creep back in, and you block it. Why praying is good, but psychological therapy is also extremely necessary for heavy depression. Let's not underestimate this spirit. It's very bad for heavy depression. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Because I going to that therapy has helped me a lot, even now. Um when I can know when the depression want to come in because I can feel it in my knees. I can feel it. There are certain part of my body I can feel, and then I know, oh, I have to take it easy because I get to know my body. I get to understand it.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this is something that really help a lot. You see, people just move along or they just take medication. But sometimes we have to come to places or school or therapy where they can learn you to understand part of your body and how to go about it. So these are things that it helps a lot.
Yeah. So
Walking help a lot, drawing help a lot,
yes,
singing help a lot.
art help a lot. Art help
Yes,
a lot.
I
Singing, dancing,
dancing,
sports. Yes,
right. It
do
helps
do
a
the
lot.
things which bring joy in life. Do what you like. It helps, and then eliminate the trigger of depression. If they are your thoughts, you must find a way to banish those negative thoughts. And if there are people, you find a way to banish those people. Yeah, you must have a healthy mindset.
Oh man, I see this person right again, Bishop Steve, Mary, Edward. She said, I've been in the ministry for over 60 years and I've experienced both depression and thoughts of taking my life. So I got with brothers to pray James 5, verse 6 with me. And look, this is somebody that has been in ministry for 60 years. So depression comes to everybody. It
At a
knocks
certain
on
time, yeah.
everybody too. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Apostle Yolanda comes in.
Good afternoon, Apostle.
Good
Good afternoon,
afternoon.
Dr. Kenji.
Hello. Good
Um,
afternoon.
I have a question concerning mental health. Does our nutrition also influence our mental health?
Of course, of course. Nutrition is very, very important. For example, if you're more on the vegetable side of things, that is more on greens, I believe it helps your mental state. Your mental state gets better
Mm-hmm.
than when you eat this meat every day, carbohydrates every day, and clutter up the mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fasting also helps very well against depression.
Mm-hmm.
Fasting is a powerful tool against depression. What Apostle Paulette said, is very true, and just a general body wellness helps you to fight depression. In fact, I believe when the spirit of depression starts coming in, it's because one part of us is unbalanced. So
Mm-hmm.
we must seek to come back to that space of being balanced. Yeah, there's something that matters. So the depression is coming in to help indicate, hey, you're getting off the track. Come back in.
And is there any proof of mangoes being a very good, positive kind of fruit to eat against depression?
That I don't know of. I have no idea. But I do know that generally fruits they do help, and greens, vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they help.
He's talking about my mangoes.
Yeah, yeah, mangoes. Mangoes are very, very delicious. Yeah, I know fruits help, greens help, sports help, therapy help, stress-free life, money helps.
Yes, yes, yes.
If you have
Everything.
money, you can buy everything you want. Um, I mean, you can get yourself, you can do more wellness with money. Without money, you can't help yourself. You can't
Mm-hmm.
help yourself most of the time.
So we understand now that everything helps with depression. Dr. Tinji, I have to go. Thank you, Apostle Yolanda, Apostle, everybody, Bishop, everybody that came on. Do you want the doctor to come back on again? If you said yes, I would like to see you put on in the comment. Please let the doctor come again. If you just say that, then she knows she are appreciated and that we want her to come back again. Can you just put in the comment that you want the doctor back again, and then we will make another program with her coming in. Please let the doctor come again.
Okay, I'll be back then. Have a nice
So if
evening.
there's more, just let us know and we will send it to her. I see everybody's putting in. Please let the doctor come back. So I know she is welcome. We want to just, Sister Lorraine said very important information. Sister Prophetess
Mama
Tanya.
Naomi.
Yes, everybody is saying yes, yes, yes. So next time we will bring her back and we will go. I've learned a lot today. And I really learned a lot. And I thank you for coming in. And we will have you back again. We will send the date and she will come back again. This is a program we want to start. Maybe we do it one time a month or two times, or we do it privately with our own doctor program. But I believe this is something that we need to be doing to help the people. So thank you, Dr. Tinge. We love you. We appreciate you. And if you want to meet her in person, you can go to Germany. She has her own doctor place there where she runs. And you can make appointment or inbox her for an appointment to go in. And she can also do a session with you. But you have to pay for that, I think. Okay, then. God
Yeah,
bless
thank
you.
you. Thank you for the
Bye-bye.
invitation. And we see you next time. Bye.
Okay, then. Bye-bye.